Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. So I made a video saying don't buy no more guns. And in fact, don't buy more ammo neither. Some of you guys have a lot. And my point with that video was quite simple. Simple, simple, simple. And the fact is that, you know what? Normally you only need one pistol, one rifle, and that's about it to fight, right? I went to combat several times. That's what we carry. Now, we did have some special weapons, if you want to call it that. Like I had a shotgun. At one point, I carry an M79. That was a fun gun to carry, right? And again, many other guns, that the military has, right? But ultimately, to fight, you only need a rifle and a pistol. And the point to that video was quite simple. I'm about to tell you that because obviously I got a little bit of hate, and obviously the video took a ton of views, which is good. It's really good for the channel. Before I get into that, check it out. If you want to support the channel, become a patron. I'm going to give a shout out to my patron. I do this pretty much every single video because they help me produce videos. And I know some of you guys may get upset about it, but you know what? They have skin in the game. They give me money for me to make these videos. I just bought a new microphone, actually two. So anyways, big shout out to my patrons. You guys are fantastic. If you want to support the channel, you could become one, or simply you can subscribe to the channel, share the videos, put them Facebook or whatever you want to put them. I really appreciate that. So let's hit the intro and let's start talking about this. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so let me bring my face here and set this up. I want to show you the video that I did first and then kind of talk a little bit about it, kind of like reacting to my own video. And by the way, if you don't come and check my channel, I don't know what to tell you. I post videos almost daily. Lately, I've been grinding and I've been putting a lot of videos. I got a whole setup here, and it's becoming easier for me in a way to produce video, which allows me to make more videos. So again, it's easier, but I'm making more, so I'm making it harder on myself. If I do one video a week, it will be so simple. But there's just too many things to talk about, right? And, some of you guys love the videos, and I appreciate that. So again, I've been posting a ton of videos. Make sure you check out the videos. Go to the main page, click videos, and go and check them out. Here's the video that I'm talking about right here. And what do you guys think? First of all, what do you think? You like the headset, or you like this microphone here? Let me know which one sounds better as well. So again, this video was called "Don't Buy More Guns or a Ton of Ammo," and actually got 83,000 views. I posted it September 4, so it's literally 2 months old, right? And again, it got a pretty good amount of views. We got a pretty good amount of comments as well. And in this video, this is what I say, guys. It's quite simple. A lot of times we concentrate in too many guns. A lot of times we concentrate in too much ammo, and we neglect everything else. Do not neglect everything else. I understand that guns are fun. I understand that guns are amazing. I understand that buying more guns is a ton of fun. I'm going to cover 10 reasons why people buy more guns in this video, right? But again, don't neglect everything else. Don't neglect, the simple fact that you need other things. Like you may need a good slim, right? You may need a good vest. You may need maybe ear protection. You may need eye protection. You may need some glove, right? You may need a generator for your house. Maybe you need some entertainment. You ever being in a survival situation, you get bored after a while. You need some cars or something to play, right? So again, there's just so many things that you can do that you may need, and things like that, that when you get wrapped up around just guns, you neglect everything else. I just don't want you guys to do that, right? So, and again, I got a bunch of comments. Some of the people were hating. Some of the people were just, pretty much, saying great things. Like, here, look, don't forget to buy a cleaning kit too. That is amazing. Kenneth right here says, now you have me rethinking. Time to sell some guns. Nah, not happening. No, totally not happening. Lion Quest Fitness. Make sure you check out his channel right here. He's amazing. Actually, let me open this up. Amazing channel, amazing person, a great member of the community. And actually, you know what? He's a patron as well. So go ahead and check him out. Subscribe to his channel. He has a bunch of revolvers, and it's just fantastic. He does a lot of shooting as well. So again, a lot of comments here, and a lot of guys get wrapped up around this, and it's quite simple. It's just not about guns, right? It's about more than guns. It's a whole system, and I'm about to share all these things that I put in here, right? It's a whole system that you should have for self-defense, right? It's just not guns. So, all right, so let me come here to my list, and let me tell you 10 reasons, because out of that video, everybody's like, no, you should buy more guns. There's a lot of reasons why you should buy more guns. Well, here's 10 reasons why. First one, enjoyment. Man, I enjoy shooting guns, and lately I haven't been able to shoot as many guns because obviously there is an ammo shortage. There is so much crap going on that it's just ridiculous. But you know what? If you have different rifles, maybe you like to do some long range shooting. That is fantastic. Maybe you like to shoot 22s because they're fun. You could put a lot of rounds and it's just not going to cost you as much. What a fantastic choice. I love that as well. All right, number 2, and again, this is not in any particular order. Why you need more guns? Well, simple, to arm other people. That's just simple. A lot of you guys call people crazy. You gun guys are crazy. Gun guys, you guys have too many guns. But guess what? If a crazy protest, peaceful protests come over, I bet you some of those people are flipping out and buying guns. We are having a crazy amount of guns being sold right now because the simple fact that people are flipping out, and people are realizing that cops are not coming to help them because of the political gains for whatever reason. But how many people are stuck in their houses scared and cops are not responding? So you're no longer a crazy man. You're no longer that person that thinks that way, right? I remember years ago, I had a subscriber here many, many years ago, and she was a lady, and she says something to this, just like this, something like this. But she said, I never thought about buying a gun until I parked in my house, and a man took me out and sexually molested me on the side of my house. I was like, man, I didn't even know what to say. And again, I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly how she said it, but it was just like crazy, right? Now she carries a gun. And it goes like that for many things, right? So again, if you have a gun and, obviously self-defense and things like that, it's okay. But you have the ability to arm others if something happened. If something crazy happened right now, my wife carries a gun, but if she wouldn't, I will have a gun to give to her, right? For self-defense. I'll be like, hey, look, something bad is about to happen to the house. Here it is. And you see situations that happen all the time, where people use somebody else's gun to defend themselves. So it's not something that it wouldn't happen. Again, your family members, you never know if something crazy is going to happen. People are going to overrun your house. It's nice to have other guns that you can, allow people to defend themselves, right? So I got a story that I made sure one day when I was in Afghanistan about, sharing guns and things like that. But again, that's a good one right there. Another reason may be different capabilities. Why you want different guns? Well, maybe you need different capabilities. I'll give you an example. Shotguns. People buy a lot of shotguns for home defense. That is great, but that is in a specific capability, right? You should not, if you disagree with me, let me know down in the comment section below. But you shouldn't have a shotgun as your main fighting rifle. You should not, right? Shotgun has a lot of different capabilities, but also has some major drawbacks. And, some people are going to argue now, shotgun is great. It is great. Great home defense gun. Ben, different capabilities, right? You give me a shotgun inside this house, man, you better watch out. I know how to use that thing. I know how to fire that thing. I know how to maneuver around my house with that weapon, right? I know that stuff. But once again, it is not a primary gun. Somebody with an AR-15 could take you out Very, very easy, because the simple fact that has a longer range, the simple fact that has more ammunition, right? 30 versus 8 or 6, 7, whatever it is. So again, buying another gun for a specific capability is a great idea, but keep in mind that that is for that capability, right? Shotgun, great for home defense. You still need to have a pistol that is for concealed carry. You still may need to have a pistol that is for home defense. You still may need to have a rifle that is for a fighting rifle, right? So again, that's a pretty good one that a lot of guys talk about it. And some of those reasons that I'm giving you is not things that I do per se, but things that I always heard and people talk about these things, right? Like one of the things that they say, actually two things that I'm going to talk about, is to just simply have a survival group, just like I say, right? Just kind of like your family. And again, that survival group that you have, again, kind of like your family members, you will be able to help them in the case of a situation, right? Now, when I say things like this, I don't mean like, hey, you're gonna have some guns and give it to somebody else, right? Don't be silly. Firearms are a very serious thing to have, right? It's something that you're gonna buy, something that you're gonna be doing paperwork on it, and something that you need to take the responsibility to have, right? So once you purchase that gun, you are responsible for that, and you don't want to be a person that is not taking responsibility for that firearm. You want to be a responsible gun owner. And that's something that a lot of guys don't get it, right? A lot of guys are gun owners. A lot of guys are not responsible gun owners, right? But again, the fact that you have multiple firearms is something happen where your life is at risk and your family life or your survival group is a risk, and something potentially can happen to them. If you have multiple guns, obviously you could help them out, right? If your house is being taken over by massive amount of people, you have two different pistols. One guy could be in one side of the house with a gun. The other guy could be in this side of the house with a gun. It is not an ideal thing, right? Because you want to train with your gun. You want to be able to know how to use your gun. You want to be able to know how to fire that gun. You want to be able to have training and all that stuff, right? You want to be able to have your own gun and all that. But if any other, I guess in a way, all other means have failed, and you're about to get ran over by your house and something bad is happening, obviously you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself, right? So again, having several firearms may be a good idea for that, and that is one of the reasons why a lot of people have extra guns. Now, here's another one that, like I said, a lot of guys do this, is to put in different locations. You're gonna see that in the comments. Some people say, well, I have a gun in my house, but I also have a gun in my mom's house. I also have a gun in my mother-in-law's house, right? It's secure, it's in a good place, it's properly stored, all that. They're not doing anything illegal, but if something happened and I need to go to my mom's house, I have my gun there waiting on me, right? Especially military guys. What do you think they do when they go to Iraq and all those places? You think they get rid of the guns? They put it in the mom's house, right? So again, that's a pretty good one. Another one is another reason is just to have spare parts. Spare parts. If your gun breaks down, well, you have another one that you could take some parts to replace it, or simply you have a different guns, right? So if you have a Glock 17 and your Glock 17 happen to goes down, which is silly because we know that Glocks don't break. Just kidding, they do break. Again, you have parts inside that gun that you could utilize for your gun, right? Or you have a spare gun that you could, all right, this one's not working, now I got a second one, right? So again, another reason, or another two reasons, spare parts and spare gun that people do, right? Here's another reason that you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear this a lot from a lot of guys in the comments. Somebody probably is gonna put it down in the comment section below, and it's gonna say something like for an investment. People actually buy guns that then they sell and they make money on. And again, it's something that I wouldn't. I guess I wouldn't recommend. I'm not into that. But obviously, if you buy like an antique weapon or something like that, people have them, they collect them, and then they eventually may become something that values more money. So, right, you buy like a weird revolver or something that is made in a specific year. Again, some people may buy that to make an investment in some kind of way. And I just recently saw a TV show I think my buddy Randy was showing me this, where the guy was trying to pawn two revolvers, and they gave that guy a lot of money for those two revolvers. They weren't original, so that he couldn't get as much as he thought he was gonna get. But obviously, if they would have been original, he would have gotten. I can't remember how much it was, but it was thousands upon thousands. So you see some guys out there that collect some weird guns that are really expensive, and maybe in the future they will make some money on. Here's another thing that some people say all the time. They buy guns because they think they're going to be illegal at one point. And a lot of guys don't, maybe some of you guys are new to firearms, you don't know this, but a lot of the guys that have been doing this for a while, they know this, and specifically for AR-15s, right? So an AR-15 is obviously anything for $500, $600, $700, $900, $2,000, right? But a lot of guys like to buy the lower because the lower is the only thing that gets pretty much tracked. Everything else is not trackable, or is not the firearm. If you see an AR-15, what the firearm is that lower that contains the serial numbers. Now, you could go to some companies and buy a lower for $60, $70 or something like that. So what happened is that when people think it's going to become illegal, people buy 3-4 lowers. And again, for a regular person may think that's just a lower, but in fact, it's not a lower. It's actually an AR-15. Every other piece has to be bought at a later time. So a lot of guys do that in case they become, illegal. They buy a couple of lowers, hoping that it doesn't. And if it does, and they get grandfather in, then they have those firearms already. If they don't get grandfather in, whatever process it goes after that. But I know a lot of people do that. If you are in a state that wants to make AR-15s illegal or something like that, that may be something that you can do. Just know that if the law actually change, you are going to have to obviously comply if you want to, not comply if you don't want to. That's your decision. You make your own decisions. But obviously there will be some regulations that will come after that. Like, you can't have this gun, or you could have this gun if you bought it before this day. Things like that I've seen in the past. So that's why some people do that kind of stuff. And here's the last reason to buy more guns. And if you want to put it like that, this is should be my first reason, but I'm going to say it last because it is what it is. I guess I save it for the last moment. You should buy more guns because you're an American and you could do whatever you want, essentially. You should be able to do whatever you want. You should be able not to give any explanation why you want more guns. You should be able to buy whatever gun you want. The media wants to make you seem crazy because you have multiple guns. That's nonsense. You're an American. You're a law-abiding citizen. If you like to collect firearms, buy them. If you like to, which is another reason why people buy a lot of guns, they like to collect them. If you think it's a nice hobby that you enjoy, you work hard, you buy a gun and you go shooting because of the shooting sport is so enjoyable to you, do them. You're an American. You should not be able to have to give a reason why you buying a gun. But I understand that nowadays we're getting silly. I understand that nowadays people are getting, very, very silly about that. Just remember, guys, when I make this video right here, it was with the purpose of not telling you not to buy more guns. Again, I just told you you're an American, buy whatever you want, as long as you can afford it, obviously. And, as long as you're a law-abiding citizen, you can buy whatever guns you want. I don't care about that. But the point to this video was to essentially tell you that do not neglect your self-defense plan. Don't neglect it. Don't get so wrapped up around guns that you're neglecting everything else. Anyways, what do you guys think? Put comments down below. And as always, God is in control.